Good morning to all. Let's proceed further with the next verse in Bhagavad Gita. Before I can proceed further with the verse 3, let's recapitulate what we discussed in the last video. Now, we have seen that Lord Krishna talks about illness. He just refers the words that were translated and given to us by R.C. Zehner is ill. Then we have seen the concept of body, a noble soul, and how body I would say body is acting like a mediator between ill and a noble soul. And he makes it very clear that it looks as though ill is present in the body, okay, somehow, and it is giving some kind of results on the noble soul, and those are negative, they are not the positive. For example, the results are no one will attain heavens. He makes it very clear, which means that no happiness, that's number one, no well-being, number two, number three, he even says that this might bring dishonor. You see, the reputation will not be a good one. So these are the two things that we have seen in one corner. On the other side, we have seen the actions that a noble soul under the influence of ill takes up, and the results are directly affecting on the immediate community or the society. You see, that's the wonderful connection that we could see in the words of Lord Krishna. Now, coming to verse number 3, it's a very important one, though the translations by different writers give us different words. For example, R.C. Zehner, for verse 3, he makes it up very clearly, and he says, wherein Lord Krishna utters these words. What is that? Do not play like eunuch, Parth. Parth is another name for Arjun, and he tells him, do not play like eunuch. Now, you see, these words are not supposed to be taken very lightly. Let's look at the deeper meaning. Radha Krishnan in his translation says unmanliness. You see, he made it a abstract noun for us. However, here it is more or less like very clear that yes, he is somehow translated it as eunuch. Now, this has a lot of repercussions on the future studies or for future, I would say, scholarship. You know that Parth had this boon that yes, whenever he wants, he can, go ahead and transform or become a eunuch. And in his 14 years of exile in one of the kingdoms of Virat, he took the garb of Brihannala. And we know as Brihannala, you see, try to understand what does Brihannala mean. Number one, why the garb of a eunuch for a person who is a warrior, who is very powerful and who is very learned, very close to Lord Krishna, have to take the form of eunuch rather than like Mohini, which is another form of Lord Krishna. He never took that. So if you are planning to go for your scholarship on Bhagavad Gita studies or on Mahabharat project, please look for these questions. Nobody has pondered upon these things. Therefore, I say that when he is talking about eunuch, which is another word for transgender, look whether eunuch is a rude word or not, number one. Number two, what is the difference between transgender and eunuch? Okay, and try to understand these things also. Then he uses the word play. What does that mean? That whenever the word eunuch is there, we see most of the time a play kind of a thing coming in almost, I have seen in all renderings of the literature. And there you have to understand, is it the case that always the word play is associated with eunuch? Number one. Number two, wherein it's just a game, a play, so no decisions, no planning, etc. Think, from a serious perspective, I would say, do you really think eunuchs are like that? That's what I want to introduce out here, this particular verse, and that's what I said. Let me go ahead. It's not necessary that if we are talking about theories of consciousness, we need to, even you need to be conscious about these things also. No planning, no strategies. So what does play mean? So main implications will be for transgender studies. If you are looking for a good scholarship and you're planning to focus upon, you can focus on these studies also. Legal implications. Think, if a eunuch really in transgender, in reality that individual stands up and fights, that what do you think, I'm always playing, kind of a thing. Then ethical aspects of it. Now you have to be very careful with the ethical aspect. Association between the words play and eunuch, and play entertainment for the entertainment studies. Look into the entertainment studies also. Now we have a lot of entertainment studies wherein we distinguish between games and sports. Okay, and if you remember Mughal era, remember transgenders were ruling and helping all the Mughal emperors in the Janani Khana, which is the palace of queens. The women who were there, and only eunuchs were allowed. Trust me, no male guards. It was the eunuchs who were there. So that's importance for that historically. So you can think about it, and that is the importance of verse number 3 for us. Okay. Now let me come back, wherein Lord Krishna, when he utters these words, we will try to understand more about certain other aspects and then go further into the other verses. Till then, thank you and take care. Bye.